Hi, everybody. Okay, so last time we really pulled together all the different players. We have DNA, which is in the nucleus, and it's transcribed to mRNA. And the mRNA leaves the nucleus and goes to the ribosomes, where it directs the making of a protein. And the protein makes you look the way you do. Today, we're going to talk about when something goes wrong. So if you have a change in the DNA, that's called a mutation. And if you change the DNA, then you're going to mess up every step along the way. So a mutation is a change in the sequence of DNA, the bases of the DNA. And once you change the DNA, and let's say it's no longer AAA, but now it's AAC, what's going to happen? Well, what's the first thing that's made from the DNA that will now be changed? The mRNA will now be changed, and you will get a change in the bases in the mRNA. So if you change the DNA bases, you get a new sequence of mRNA bases. And if you change the mRNA bases, when it goes to the ribosomes to make a protein, then you're going to get a different sequence of transfer RNAs coming in. And if you get a different sequence of transfer RNAs coming in, you're going to get a different sequence of amino acids. And if you get a different sequence of amino acids, you're going to get a different protein, and the person is going to look different. So a mutation can change the traits you have because the DNA changes the mRNA that is made, that changes the protein that is ultimately put together. So if we look back at our diagram of this, if you were originally AAA and it's now AAC in the DNA, then you're going to have UU G instead of UUU, and if you have UUG, a different transfer RNA is going to come in, and it's going to be carrying a different amino acid, and then the protein is going to be different. You're going to have a new trait. Now, frequently, those new traits are bad. Sometimes they're not harmful at all. They're just mistakes in DNA that we don't generally use, or the change is doesn't actually result in a different amino acid. So a lot of mutations are harmless, but most of the mutations cause problems. They're not the appropriate order of bases for making hemoglobin so that you can carry oxygen in your blood, or the right enzymes so that you can make growth hormone. Something will go wrong most of the time. Every once in a while, it's useful. And we'll talk about that and the importance of useful, helpful mutations when we talk about evolution in the next unit. All right, so let's take a closer look at how mutations happen. So let's say the original DNA was supposed to be CCCGGTT, and it's changed to CCCGGTTA. And I put it into a table so we can keep track. So this is the normal DNA, and this is the messed up mutated DNA. What's the first thing that's made from DNA? mRNA, right? And that mRNA, we're going to figure out what that is. That mRNA then leaves the nucleus and goes to the ribosomes, where we make a protein. So what mRNA is made from this normal DNA? If the DNA is CCCGGGTT, the new mRNA is going to be, the old DNA is going to be GGGCCCAAA, and I messed that up. The mRNA made from the normal DNA is going to be GGGCCCAAA. And then if we use the table like we had been, we will find that GGG encodes for gly, CCC encodes for pro, and AAA encodes for lyse, and that will be the normal expected protein that would give you your trait. On the other hand, if we had a mutated DNA, we would, instead of having this T changed to an A, and we would see an A at the end of the mRNA changed to a U. And that would give us an entirely different sequence of amino acids, and therefore a different trait. And a lot of times that will be a useless protein that will then cause some sort of disease. Every once in a while, it might be helpful and an advantage. So what might cause the DNA, the TTT here, to be changed to the TTA? Well, things in our environment will cause these changes. They're called mutagenic agents. they cause mutations. And some common examples are X-rays, UV radiation, and benzene. If you take a look, we have a tanning bed and we have the sun. Those are both things that produce UV radiation. They both cause tanning. Tanning is actually your body producing a protein called melanin. Anytime that UV radiation comes into your body's like, whoa, don't, you're going to harm my DNA. You're going to mutate my DNA. So the body's cells, the skin cells, make a protein called melanin that blocks the UV radiation from doing as much damage. So basically a tan is your body screaming out for you to stop harming it. So tanning beds work the same way that the sun does, by making this UV radiation that hits your cells, and your cells are like, please don't hurt me. And so they're not good for you. They cause skin cancer because the mutations that they cause cells to divide uncontrollably. X-rays, same thing. Now, obviously, you want to expose yourself to X-rays under certain circumstances where you need to know if you have a broken bone, but you want very limited. And that's why they put the apron on you, so that your vital organs are not exposed to the X-rays and therefore mutations. And benzene, used in making glue, and it's in gasoline and plastic bottles. Those mutagens that cause cancer, and we talked about that before. Having a good, healthy diet will increase the antioxidants that will allow you to fight off these kinds of mutations from happening.